This may be my last recording. I'm here in the Himalayas, trapped, lost, no food. I just feel responsible for my team. I wish I could do more for them.
I'm just going outside. And maybe some time.
Yeah, whatever. We came here to search for the mysterious, abominable snowmen, but I fear now we shall never discover him.
Crew, I found some tracks.
What? Show me.
There, look.
Quick, follow them. Look, there's something up ahead. It's huge. It's Big Bird.
Hi, everybody. Nice and cool in here.
Oh, he's so cool.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle. Also, listen to my podcast. It's about Doctor Who. Yeah.
Bex, we've missed you.
My name's Barry Williams, and with me tonight I have Mr. Rupert Booth.
Hello.
And Mr. Paul Ferry.
We're walking in the air.
What are you doing?
We're not doing the snowman. The snowman.
No, the Abominable Snowmen.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was the snowman.
No, you've been watching the wrong thing.
He's got there, blimey.
He's waiting for me to come in there, wasn't he? Yeah. Okay.
Completely off the cuff.
You were lying in wait in the bushes to wait for me, waiting to pounce. Yeah, so we're talking tonight about the Abominable Snowman, or the Abominable Snowmen. So,
yes. Well,
Yes.
one of them would be cheaper.
Yeah, well, not the
Yeah.
Peter Cushing film from 1957,
It is not.
but no, the Patrick Troughton Doctor Who story from 1967. 1967, yeah.
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 Am I right in thinking that the novel is Snowman? Or am I just making that up completely?
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I suppose it wasn't Doctor Who and the Snow Creatures or something like that. But we're not talking about the 1967 version. We're talking about the 1980 something version, starring Mr. Peter Davison.
Yeah,
Excitingly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a yen to put Adric in this.
Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
Cool. Okay, well, it just seems like it should have Adric in it.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking Adric as well.
Yeah.
Partly, I guess, because we've done Turlo now. And partly because Jamie's so useful in this, it'd be quite fun to have Adric in there instead.
It's going to be Tegan doing all the useful stuff, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Adric's just going to be eating monks, randomly. Where's Rinshan? I was hungry.
Can it replace Earthshock? Can it just wander off into the snow and ice at the end? Never come back.
I think at one point he could be clubbed to death by an Yeti. You know when Chris Song died? Spoiler for a 1967
Oh my
story.
God.
Indeed.
Oh my God, they killed Chris Song.
Yeah, they didn't. He was just acting. It's fine.
Ah.
And I thought that could be a valiant end for Adric. But then you've got another kind of episode and a half of stuff going on, and by the end everyone will be going back to something like the beginning of Time Flight, kind of 2 minutes of shit, man, Adric, and then right, let's crack on.
Well, I mean, that's an option if you want to have Adric bloodily clubbed to death in the story. I'm sure we can fit
Well,
that in.
I'm open to him staying alive.
No.
Okay,
a normal
that's
story.
Yeah.
For ease of companionage, it could replace Kinder, because then we can have Nissa having like 48 hours sleep in the Delta Wave augmenter.
Yeah, true. Yeah, that would make life easier. Yeah. Well, we can do it.
So, thematically, nothing suggests itself.
No.
Kinder, then?
Why not?
Buddhism. There we are. There's a thematic link.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Buddhism. You're right. Yes.
There we are. Excellent.
Very profound.
Thank you. Totally off the cuff, but mine actually was.
That's the exciting thing. Nobody in the universe can do what we're doing.
Yeah, so The Abominable Snowmen by Christopher Bailey, that classic from season
Don't they still get
19.
written by the same people?
19.
No.
No, they don't be silly.
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do.
No.
Have we got a rule on that? Maybe we've done both then.
No, there's no rule. No.
Ah,
Quite often the writers are dead, though, aren't they? by
Yeah,
the
quite often they're either dead
time
or they're
publishing
but they're
comes
not.
out.
So
But they're not in this instance.
No, they're not.
no.
They
No,
possibly
so-
weren't talking to each other.
It just seems to me that if we're talking about the Christopher Bailey version of the Abominable Snowmen, it's going to be something completely different, and that's another layer of time ramage we have to put on top of it. And we can't ram that much. We're all in our 50s, for God's sake. Let's be realistic, guys. Hazeman and Lincoln. It's got to be Hazeman and Lincoln. I think Lincoln might have gone a bit kind of Knights Templar by this point in real life in the 80s, but he could still sit down and write a script, you know.
I think it's going to have a material effect on what we do, to be fair, because we're just going to bump along as we usually
Yeah, that's
in
true.
our usual manner.
Well, fine. Again, listener, I tried.
I mean, it's never bothered us in the past. It's unlikely that
No,
Malcolm
it's
Hulk
true.
would have put Mr. Creosote in the Sea Devils.
That is unlikely. Yeah.
He might have done if he'd realised it's a satire on consumerism. In which case, he might well have done. The language may be slightly different.
It would have been super John Cleese, so it would not have done that.
Yeah. There's time yet. We might yet be.
Yeah.
Can't imagine for what, but you know, when we cast him, it's like, let's cast John Cleese in this. Let's cast John Cleese as Chris on. Or Pampa Samovar.
Well, we'll come to that in a moment. But
Oh, very well.
okay, so the story opens. We're on a mountainside.
Yes.
Travers and his friend John, his friend John, they're bunked up together in a tent in the Himalayas when they get attacked, and there's lots of roaring and stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, and then John
I
disappears.
think this is a cracking opening. I think this would have been terrifying.
Yeah.
I'm not sure you ever see John. I mean, obviously, we're talking telesnaps here. So we
Difficult
can't
to saw,
tell.
isn't it? Yeah,
Because
he finds
you
his
start-
broken rifle, doesn't
You
it?
start off straight away with the scream. As soon as the music fades, the first thing you hear is a scream. And I think, in apparent darkness, and I imagine you'd go straight to Travers, waking up and hearing the scream alone, going, John, what? And then he goes out and finds the broken thing, and there might have been a hint of a shadowy shape. Shadowy shape.
Shambling in the snow.
Sean, shadowy shape, shambling in the snow. Yes. Where's Richard Napper when you need him? Yeah. So I think it's an absolutely cracking opening.
Yeah.
And then you're straight into this lovely scene in the TARDIS.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. TARDIS arriving in the Himalayas in Tibet,
Yes.
and the Doctor's quite excited. He's looking for his ghanta, which, against all expectations, is like a small bell. And he actually runs out and gets a fur coat.
I'm fascinated.
Yeah.
I'm fascinated by that thing in the telesnaps. Where he picks a thing out and says, "Oh, well, I don't know what it is, but it's lovely to see it again." What the hell is that? What is it? It's got little bells on, and it looks like it's sort of perspex curvy thing. What is it?
Yeah.
It's good. That's going to turn up in a photo from another show one day. It'll be something like out of the this will be a prop they just grabbed off the shelf. It'll be out of the unknown or something else.
That's great if they just built it just for that, though, isn't it? So they sent
Wouldn't it be
some
great?
designer away to
I-
build something peculiar from to find,
I did sit and pause it actually yesterday when I was watching. I watched half of it yesterday and the other half today, so it was fresh. And I swear I sat and looked at that thing and started going, "Could build one of them, you know." And we've got better things to do. Don't. But I might. Yeah. If I do, I'll build you both one as well.
Oh, great, yeah.
I mean, at least as far as Baz was just clearly unenthusiastic, so he isn't getting one. Listener, you can have that.
It's just immediately thinking, like my house isn't already full of junk that I haven't got room for. It's like...
Or you can still have one because you're nice. More than me.
It would be a lovely thing. It's just,
What thing is it though? I mean, that's what fascinating. Anyway, yes, I digress.
So the Doctor sticks his fur coat on and he's straight out the door. He's off to have a look for this monastery where he was 300 years earlier.
Yeah, I don't think he
Gets
sticks
in.
his fur coat on. I think this scene actually translates fairly easily because Davison does have his times of just going bonkers with enthusiasm and running around. It'd be a lot more breathless.
Yeah.
And all that sort of bit. But I don't think the fur coat would be present.
No, probably not. No, it's very associated with Trout, that fur coat, isn't
It
it?
is. Yeah. Despite only appearing in a couple of stories.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
he
that
doesn't
and the
wear
Five
it
Doctors,
much.
really, isn't it?
It's the Ice Warriors. It's in the Ice Warriors as well,
Is
which
it?
makes sense
Okay.
because ice.
Yes.
But I think that's it from memory.
Mm.
Davison would just have his usual gear, wouldn't he? Because he's that's
Yeah,
hard.
yeah,
He's
he'd
retard.
just go out in just
Yeah.
PJs.
Well, I mean, he can survive in the depths of space just wearing his cricketing gear. So
That's
he's fine.
true.
He's all right.
That's true. Yeah. He's proved his
doesn't worry
massive
him.
hardness from day one. He wouldn't die by falling off the Pharos project.
No, he fucking well wouldn't.
And I mean,
Right.
end of time, he'd just bounce off the floor. He'd land on his feet.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
going
A bit like that Matt Smith episode. I'd forgotten, but there's a Matt Smith episode where he falls from space.
Yeah,
he's basically all right.
I wish to stop doing that.
Yeah.
I wish to stop superheroing the Doctor.
Yeah.
So now Tom Baker just looks like an absolute wuss.
Yeah. Unless I suppose it might make sense to kind of Time War thing to give you like hyper resilience in case you have to fall off things. Don't frown at me like that, Mr. Have they got a Dyson sphere in their lead atmosphere?
Just imagine that's day one of the training. Right, okay. I'm sure you're going to show you how to pull off things.
Particularly telescope.
Yeah.
I wish I'd known this earlier.
I mean, if I was a Time Lord, if I was the Doctor, I'm assuming Time Lords have invented anti-gravs. I'd just carry one. I'd just wear one on a belt in case. It would also be really useful. You know, surrounded by Daleks, about to press you off by.
It's like you were saying the other episode. You know, he could have a communicator all the time. Does he?
Yeah.
No. What does he have? A screwdriver.
Yeah, which of course is the point. But yeah.
Mind you, it can do anything. You know, it's just kind of.
It can. Well, these days it can do anything. Yeah. We should probably get back to the plot, shouldn't we?
They probably should.
Yes.
So the Doctor sees Depsen, a monastery where he was about 300 years earlier, and he's wanting to return their ghanta. So he's basically heading straight off with it, leaving Jamie and No, actually, I think he's just heading straight off without the ghanta, leaving Jamie and Victoria to find it for him.
Yes, he is. He's going to go and say hello.
Yeah, that's right.
His generally announced presence. Which...
So, of course, it's not Jamie and Victoria. It's
Tegan
not.
It's Tegan.
Nissa and Adric.
Yeah. And Nissa kind of goes, cozy, and falls over, and they put her in the Delta Wave augmenter. So it's the extraordinary pairing of Tegan and Adric.
I assume they're going to have a sort of lengthy scene of them arguing together, TARDIS, and not really getting on. And the Doctor
going,
oh,
yes, of course.
They are. Well, I mean,
me the ghanta and I'm off, you know. It's
season 19, so it starts with her going, that's not fucking Heathrow. You know, because they all start like that, apart from Time Flight. I mean, I suppose that's the gag of the season, isn't it? But so it's going to start like that. Maybe that's what exhausts Nissa. Maybe she just cannot take all the argument. You know, she's from a place of peace. She's been through a lot lately.
Yeah.
Well, or maybe not, depending on when the hell she joins and what happens. It's likely, in fact, definitely her father won't have just been assimilated by the Master. So maybe she's just a wuss. I don't know.
Maybe she got really scared by the Rani pretending to be Tegan. I don't know.
Maybe she got really scared by Tegan being Tegan. I don't know. Or Adric existing. Who can tell? Delicate wee flower, Nissa.
Do you think they'd still be filming this in Snowdonia, or would it be some crappy studio mountain?
I think they'll do it exactly like they did. I think they'll film it in Snowdonia or the like. Yeah.
It's kind of a shame because it doesn't look much like the Himalayas at all.
No.
I did some research on the Peter Cushing, Nigel Neal story. On the BBC, it was The Creature, and then 2 years later, Hammer released it as The Abominable Snowman. And the BBC version, even though it went out live, they actually visited Switzerland and filmed in the Swiss Alps, and there was loads of location footage in it.
Wow!
In the Swiss Alps with Peter Cushing there, which they were really worried about because they were worried he might fall off a mountain. Yeah. So, and then they didn't bloody keep it; it just went out live, and that was it. You know, it's like the poor old Doctor Who was stuck in Snowdonia in the rain, but never mind.
Yeah.
Well, at least they're outside.
At least they're outside. Yeah. It could have been worse. Yeah.
I mean, if it had been the early 70s, half of it would be CSO backgrounds. So, you know, at least they're outside and they're on film.
Yeah.
And it's in kind of. They might have brought one of those foam machines in to make it a bit more snowy. They might have waited till December because we still had snow in December back in the early 80s.
We did. Yeah.
You know, I know it's bizarre, isn't it? Thinking back, them were the days, weren't they, lads?
I was watching. Last Christmas I was watching the Box of Delights.
Oh Oh yeah.
And it's really noticeable watching that, how there's some bits of it where they've got really incredible lush fall of snow on the ground, and it's genuine snow, and you can tell. And there's other bits where it's just foam, it's really obviously foam.
Yeah.
So it's going to be foam if any, if they have to.
Yeah.
It's probably be like that. It'll be a combination of both.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that they're sort of half decent. John Nathan Turner's worked out the schedule so he can get some snow.
Yeah. There's a good effects designer on board.
Right, so the Doctor heads down the mountain. He finds Travers' camp with dead
Travers' camp. What?
And then he reaches the monastery, and the monks aren't so friendly. They're immediately accusing him of being behind a load of Yeti attacks, which have been going on recently. And Travers is there. Travers is also accusing him of attacking his camp. We should probably cast some of these characters.
Let's cast some of these characters.
Yeah.
Peter Davison, I think, for the Doctor.
Peter Davison, he'd be dead good as the Doctor.
Wouldn't he? Yeah.
Let's give him a chance. Yeah.
Excellent. The lad's got promise.
I was thinking that although it's like kind of sort of 5 years or less since kind of Talons of Weng Chiang, I think a lot had changed, and you wouldn't get away with casting white actors.
I was thinking exactly the same
thing. I think so.
Yeah, in just that short period of time.
It's quite noticeable in the Troughton version where these are all Western actors.
Yeah.
And some of them have got their eyes taped. And
you can even tell the telly snap, so it must have been really obvious looking.
You just could not get away with that in the 80s. No.
So I've got a short list of East Asian actors that were doing the rounds at the time.
Good work.
First two, very obvious, Burt Kwok.
Yep.
And David Yip.
Yeah.
David Yip Tomney.
Yeah.
I was thinking Tomney for David Yip, and Burt Kwok, I don't know, maybe Padma Sambafar or Songston.
Yeah. And then I've got Robert Lee, who was an older actor as well. He was in Gangsters. He was the Chinese gang leader in Gangsters. And Christopher Coombe, who was also in Gangsters. But I think he was in Talons, actually, Christopher Coombe.
Right.
No, he was in Mind of Evil, I think.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I
knew I recognised the name from a Doctor Who thing. But
well, this is the era of Tenko.
It's quite a short list, but that's...
They've got all those actors in Tenko, which some of them they could use. I mean, Burt Kwok, obviously.
Yeah.
That's kind of put pay to John Cleese.
Sorry. Yeah.
He can be Travers.
He can't be Travers.
He can't be Travers. He's not a Travers type, is he?
We could cast David Warner as Travers in tribute.
Actually, you could cast Michael Palin as Travers.
Yeah. He's a traveller.
Well, there's all that side of it, but he'd be a bit of the Python character of the cycling tour, maybe a bit like that.
In his shorts in the Himalayas.
Yeah. Slightly more comedic. Found some Yeti. Companion died. Camp ruined. We'll have to get a new tent.
Thank goodness for tent repairman.
Mr. Piote.
We reference Python a lot. I've noticed that when I'm editing these. I think we're showing our age, even though none of us were alive when Python went out.
Well, Python had that big repeat season, didn't they? In the sort of, was it the early 90s or the late 80s?
Well, that's
that's when we must have watched it.
Taped it basically, and that's certainly Fish and I watched it.
Yeah, we were exactly the right age. We must be about 15 or 16.
Totally.
Yeah. So it enters your head, doesn't it? Poke him with the soft cushions.
So we'll settle on Michael Palin for Travers then.
Oh, that's fine with me. Yeah. So amongst the monks we have obviously Chris On, who's the aggressive warrior leader.
Jackie Chan.
No, you're not going to Jackie Chan.
Bruce Lee was dead, wasn't he?
No, he's still alive.
Hey, Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee, you think?
Bruce Lee was dead.
Who's dead?
I just said Bruce Lee was dead, wasn't he?
You said Jackie Chan.
No, I said Jackie Chan first, and I went Bruce Lee. I mean,
all right.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee was dead.
Clearly, not very distinctly. Right, I thought Bruce Lee was dead.
Yeah, and still is.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
At time of going to press,
Yeah. Subject to change. He could come back.
I mean, they could get an American guest star.
George Takei.
You know.
He probably wasn't doing anything around kind of.
George Takei is Chris On.
Is it like between Star Trek films?
No, they are making the big. He's doing all right at the moment. Yeah, they're making Star Trek. They're making. Yeah. They're doing Surgery Spock around this time, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, lonely Yeti. That's my top impersonation.
Oh, bye.
Of course, I hesitate to mention it, but they were obviously so desperate for Eastern actors in the 60s that obviously as Papa Samovar, they cast Wolfe Morris.
Yeah.
Also in actually the Abominable Snowman, he's in that as the guide, the native
Yeah.
guide.
Indeed.
And he's in the original The Creature as well, actually.
Mhm.
But I mean, he wasn't East Asian at all. He was Russian.
No.
Yeah.
Just sort of vaguely exotic looking. That was good enough. So then I started thinking, well, who's around as Russian actors? And top of the list for British actors of Russian ancestry, Helen Mirren.
We're not casting Helen as Papa Sandoval.
As a monk.
How
It doesn't
about
work like that.
She was born Helen Mirrenoff.
Was she really?
Yeah. Little bit of trivia for you. So yeah.
Oh, that's a day of revelations today.
Yes.
Yeah. What about the guy who played Mr. Miyagi?
Oh, I don't know what his name was.
They're both just looking at me like they've never heard of Mr. Miyagi.
What's his name?
But I don't know his name.
Karate Kid.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. James Hong is in a lot of stuff in America. None of which I can actually name at this point.
We're doing very well at the casting on this one, aren't we? This is excellent.
We're really showing ourselves up here with our Asian actors. Shall we go with James Hong then, and just got to hope for the best?
And Key Luki, who was the kind of the old bloke in Gremlins at the start of Gremlins.
Yeah,
and had been around since he'd been around since the silent years. He'd been around a long time.
He'd be good as Papa Sandoval.
Yeah.
It might be affordable.
Okay. All right.
I've got an interesting fact about Wolfe Morris.
Okay.
If you want to hear it, yes.
Of course I do. Yeah.
He's the brother of Aubrey Morris, who was the captain of the B-Ark in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Wow. Yeah.
They looked absolutely nothing like each other.
Thank you, Doctor.
So yeah, Travers is there, Michael Palin. Chris Song arrests the Doctor.
Is that George Takei? Was that one George Takei?
Chris Song?
Yeah.
That was James
I like
Hong,
it.
wasn't he?
Oh, was he?
Apparently.
George Takei's better because then he can like rip a shirt off and fight Yetis. Like, aha, Richelieu.
Let's assume he's between Star Trek movies.
Let's assume, he's in the country for a convention.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Got pissed with JNT one night.
Yeah.
Found he signed a contract.
Yeah.
And was locked in.
Yeah.
Excellent.
They probably could have got him. I mean, bloody hell, Walter Koenig made Moontrap in the middle of the Star Trek films. That was a pile of shit.
What the hell is Moontrap?
It's got Bruce Campbell in it and Walter Koenig.
It was probably a bigger budget though than the BBC's Abominable Snowmen, even
Possibly.
in 1982.
You might not think that when you watch it.
I might not watch it.
If you can't get William Shatner, get Walter Koenig. Get one of them. Get one of those guys.
I mean, some of these actors, they've turned up in sort of Star Trek fan videos, haven't they? They're kind of
True.
Grass, so yeah.
True. Usually when they were quite old though. Oh no, that's not true. George Takei turned up in one when he was younger.
Yeah.
All right, let's assume.
Yeah.
Gods are smiling.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's someone from Tenko. That's all we can really say. Yeah.
Who's Jameson?
Yeah. So we learn that Travers is there on an expedition with his mate John. You remember his mate John?
I do.
They're there looking for the Yeti.
Thank God we didn't have to cast his mate John.
And he thinks that the Doctor is a press man, and he's there from a rival expedition, and that's why he's murdered his mate. He's not really thinking straight, Travis.
He's not. He's not. He's panicking a bit.
He is panicking a bit, yeah. And Chris Song tells us that 4 monks have been killed by Yetis. So the Yeti are usually timid. It's great that they know all about the Yeti. Oh yeah, they're normally timid.
Yeah, just chill with the Yeti, Yeah.
Yeah. But it's all good. So he locks him up. Meanwhile,
yes.
Back at the TARDIS. We should go back to the TARDIS for.
Yep.
So Adric and Tegan find the ghanta, I think.
Yes.
And then they decide to head off.
It was underneath Nissa all the time.
Bloody hell, Nissa.
Yeah.
So they go out and they find some footprints in the mud. Yeah. And they follow the footprints to a cave.
I love that. The photo of the footprint in the foot in the mud, making the footprints that were gone. I love the fact that they've just kind of put a pile of mud on top of the Yeti stood in it.
You cut out for a moment. Put a pile of mud on what?
Well, just stick a pile of mud on top of the grass without any attempt to blend it in, and the Yeti kind of seems to clag its foot in it, and that's the footprint.
That's the footprint.
It's kind of like why not just shoot it on a bit where there isn't grass, rather than making a useful little clump.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure I like the Yeti's footprint clump. No one's ever complained about that in Doctor Who before. Win.
You call that footprint clump.
Yeah, Yeti footprint clumping. I'm not sure it's good enough.
The abominable clumps. That should be the name of this episode.
There we go.
Hey.
Excellent.
Abominable clumps.
Sometimes it's easy.
Oh, really? So they follow these footprints to a cave where they kind of bumble around there quite a while, don't they?
Yeah,
certainly in the original version. I guess there'd be less padding in the kind of 1980s version. I guess we're cramming this.
Yes, and more arguing.
More arguing.
This is Tegan and Adric.
Yeah.
The problem with the combination of Tegan and Adric is they're both so disinterested in everything.
Yeah.
Well, Adric's got his nose in the book about maths. He's come along with her because she's a girl and he's going to have to. Because he actually does say things like that sometimes.
Yeah. Tegan's saying, look, we've got to get this damn ghanta to the doctor. And Adric's like, well, I'd better come with you then, I suppose.
So why don't they go off and look at the footprints instead, rather than get the ghanta to the doctor? They're idiots.
Again, it's got to be Tegan kind of driving
It's got to be Tegan.
Yeah.
Adric's just hoping there'll be some food there.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe Adric's probably the one saying we should get the ghanta to the doctor.
Yeah, okay.
And they'll be sort of fighting over it outside the TARDIS going, Doctor, footprints, it'll be entertaining.
And Tegan's eventually going, look, fuck the doctor, we're going to follow these footprints.
Yeah, and just slams them into the TARDIS and punches them one, wins them and storms off. In the Himalayas, in presumably her air hostess outfit.
Yeah, air hostess outfit in her heels, naturally, in the Himalayas. Yeah. What else we should be doing? Yeah.
It's all coming out now about the Adric abuse.
Isn't it? Yeah.
It's just a punch bag.
It was all right in the 80s.
She's in her heels and all that sort of thing. Is she going to get little clumps to do footprints into? Because you would affect clumps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. She's going to lose them heels, isn't she? Yeah. So, they're in this cave. They get trapped in there for a little while. And then, Yeti turns up. And goes, Rah!
Yeah.
So that's not good. So, we're kind of, in the original version, we're kind of getting to the end of episode 1, which is good. So they're getting attacked by Yeti, and in the original version, Jamie he pulls the roof down, off that way. Yeah.
Are we not keeping this the same length for episode 1? I mean, it's not a badly paced episode 1 at all. I think it will work with a four-parter as well.
Yeah.
So should we, call that the cliffhanger? It would just keep the original cliffhanger.
Yeah.
They do an awful lot of bumbling around in that cave. I just feel like there's not a huge amount that the companions do.
Yeah, but we've had to insert scenes earlier of this falling over a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
We've got to accommodate that, so that makes up.
Okay, well, if you can make it work, then
we can have slick bumbling.
Slick bumbling. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, straight to the bumble. No messing about.
Oh, okay, so end of episode 1 then.
Oh.
Hey.
Hey.
This is the Doctor. Present flight, behind National Telegraph. Keeper of the legacy of Rassilon. Defender of the laws of time. Protector of Gallifrey.
So this is where, in the original version at least, Jamie's quite heroic and bringing the roof down on top of the Yeti. While Victoria screams in the background. I suspect that's going to be the other way round in this one. It's going to be Tegan's being sort of manly and heroic and bringing the roof down.
Tegan brings the roof down while Adric's reading about calculus.
Yeah. Adric's screaming in the background.
Gets his nose out of his book and goes, "Oh, there was some massive metal spheres here."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Picks one of them up, sticks it in his satchel.
He's got an Adric satchel with a star on it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and they hightail it
Star
down
satchel. I want an Adric. I had an Adric star satchel in 1982.
Did you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know they were quite rare, but they got to Newcastle.
People take the piss out of Adric now, but I mean, I remember being quite heartbroken when he died. I was kind of.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Really
Times. It wasn't until I started seeing pirate copies of Davison stories in the late 80s and early 90s that I started going, Adric was not a problem at the time at all.
No.
I liked him greatly. Yeah.
I
used to get annoyed at Tegan for picking on him.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they went away down the mountain, and of course the Yeti's not quite dead. He's just a little bit kind of twitchy at the end there.
I love that noise Deborah Watling makes. I love the way she turns around and goes, whoop. It's great. I'm going to do that as a moment of surprise and something. When she turns around, when she sees the Yeti, you go and watch it. Yeah, I can tell you don't believe me, but you just verify. and then put out a time round extra special just going verified. That'll get listeners.
So back in the monastery, the doctor's in a cell. He's feeling a bit sorry for himself.
Mm-hmm.
Tommy comes to visit him. Tommy,
Yep.
David Yip.
Yeah.
And he's kind of warning him that Chris-on wants to put the doctor to the test. And it's kind of fairly heavily implied that this test, sort of fairly fatal test.
Chris-on's fatal test. It's warped.
So what they're going to do is they're going to hang the doctor on the gate as bait.
Yep.
And then watch the Yetis come and get him. And
Yep.
I'm not sure whether this is testing. Was it testing?
Whether they'll attack him or not. If they don't attack him, then he's fine. And it's a variation on the duck pond, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, if you drown, you're all right.
So he either gets ripped apart by Yetis or the monks will kill him anyway. Right.
Well, they say they'll save him if he get ripped apart by Yetis, but in fact, he'll become Colin Baker at them. They just don't know.
Right. So the doctor's got the ghanta. He must have the ghanta because Tomney gets the ghanta. He finds it under the under the mattress.
Yeah. It's difficult to tell from Teddy Snaps. God damn it.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
I wish someone should have given John Cura 2 cameras and just go twice as fast, mate.
Take some more fucking pictures.
Take some more, as many as you can.
Yeah.
We'll keep feeding your cameras. Just go.
In that scenario, you'd be down the BBC saying, "I'll have film copy, please."
Yeah, you might as well just actually get a film camera.
Yes, since we started doing this, I've started looking for my recons because I've got them spread around all over the place for random discs.
Right.
I've started collating them now, so now I know where they are.
Right,
which could be handy.
All things on one hard drive.
I need more hard drives. I don't have.
Get more hard drives. Honestly, get more hard drives. Yeah, I know.
So while they're hanging the doctor from the gate, Tomley takes the ghanta to Abbot Songston. Oh, I assume it's Bert Crook. Have we decided on that?
Yeah, probably. I mean, an older person. We've got Bert Crook and we've got Robert Lee of the older gentleman.
Yeah. Let's say Bert Crook because it's a good part, isn't it? So it's a bigger part of it.
And he would. Well, I was going to say he would be the star, but George Takei would be the star.
George Takei, you know.
Yeah, George Takei is completely gazumped him.
He'd be the second star.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Loving him as Chris-on. But I'm almost made up, for John Cleese. I'm just like, all right then, yeah, fine. George Takei.
So we immediately know that things aren't quite right with Abbot Songston. We can hear Padmasambhava in the background talking to him, and he's spending part of his time in a hypnotic trance.
Mm-hmm. It's a big cast, isn't it?
It's quite a big cast, yeah.
A big speaking cast,
Padmasambhava, I mean, Wolf Morris puts on an amazing set of voices.
He's incredible. He's fantastic. Yeah,
really good.
Yeah. Love to see that.
Expect it from the creature, but yeah.
To be honest, it probably would never have got made at that time because the GNT would have had one look at it and went, "You've got like 24 East Asian actors here. It's going to be really hard to find the people for this in 1983."
Well, this is the only thing I'm thinking. The fact that they're making Tenko at the same time means that maybe there is a sort of little pool that they can dip into,
Well, a lot of Tenko was made overseas, wasn't it? So some of the actors.
No, it was made in Norfolk.
Oh, I thought
they filmed the first 2 episodes in Singapore, and then pretty much the rest of it's Norfolk.
I thought some of it was abroad.
I must watch Tenko again one of these days.
Yeah, it's great, Tenko. Yeah.
Norfolk twinned with Japan.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, we had Line Fairfax in Newcastle, so it's Cumbria.
One of the two. Yeah, we never quite established that.
I think we're drifting. Let's. Yeah. We haven't talked much about what Davison's doing different to Troughton yet.
True. Yeah. I think he would be more upset about being locked up, wouldn't he? I think Troughton kind of takes it in his stride.
I think when they're taken away, he would actually try and fight them off a bit more. But he can't take on George Takei, obviously.
No.
Who can?
But he would be a bit shirty about it.
Yeah.
And George Takei would be a bit no shirty.
Yeah, he'd be still shouting at them as they're hauling him off. Kind of, you don't listen to me. The terrible things are going to happen. Yeah.
Well, fortunately for him, Tegan and Adric run into Travers as they're coming down the mountain, and they somehow manage to convince him that maybe they're not a rival expedition, and so they head back and attempt to persuade Chris-on.
Well, it's fine. It's the 1930s. Travers is never going to believe that a woman's going to be on an expedition.
Sure, yeah. Particularly a woman dressed in as an air hostess,
and a boy in pajamas with a star satchel. So it's probably to take one look and go, yeah, I'll buy it. Spears.
But yeah, Chris Long's not having it until Albert Songston turns up and tells him to let it. So they release the Doctor.
It's not Songston, it's Songson. I think it might be Songston in the book, though. To go back to the, is it like that in the book?
Sure, in the credits it says Songston, doesn't it?
Might be on the credits, but they always say something. Well, I could be wrong, but I did watch it today.
It's difficult, isn't it? It's hard to tell.
Zen. What Padma Sandoval always says.
Anyway, the Abbot arrives, and between them, Travers, Tegan, Adric, the Abbot, they manage to persuade Chris Long not to kill the Doctor.
What a beautiful scene.
I know.
It's just visualising it. Excellent. Tegan shouting at George Takei.
That's right, yeah. They have to get back inside the monastery. And then when they see 3 Yetis approaching.
Actually, it's Takei, isn't it? Not Takei.
Takei. Everybody always said Takei for years.
Yes, that's because of age, you see. That's what we were always taught Takei, but it's Takei.
I did say Walter Koenig, though, instead of Koenig.
Yes.
So it was all right there.
Is it Koenig?
It's Koenig.
Oh, it's just like the Kiev thing all over again, isn't it? Bloody hell.
What colour is this dress? Who knows?
So everything I know is wrong. It's like when you're watching QI, they say, how many moons are there? And you go, 1. And then, no!
What do they mean? How many moons are there? What, in the solar system?
No, for the Earth. How many moons has the Earth got?
Has it got more than one then?
Apparently.
Why?
Well, because there's other random rocks that are orbiting us
okay.
that apparently qualify as moons. So,
do they?
Yeah.
Right.
Personally, I'm not convinced.
Pluto's not allowed to be a planet. A random rock shouldn't be allowed to be a moon.
Are they saying my British Home Store's Book of Space isn't correct?
Indeed.
1973, yes, that one, yes.
Has the youthborn Book of Knowledge died in vain?
Oh, please be quiet.
Okay, so they see 3 I was going to say 3 monasteries. That's not right. They see 3
on the ball tonight.
They see 3 Yetis approaching the monastery.
I see 3 Yetis sailing by.
This is the moment for I'm assuming Tegan to take charge and say that she can catch a Yeti.
Yes.
It's not a Beatrice.
Because this will be like something to do with the Outback, like she randomly does in 4 to Doomsday.
Yes.
You know, I don't know any Australian who actually can do that. So it would be kind of, this is my Australian heritage coming out. So I'm from Australia, you know, Australian. They buy Doctor Who a lot in Australia. Right. Australia.
She claims to be able to not only catch him, but also skin him. And cook him over
it's
over
how we used
billabong.
to catch wallabies.
What is a billabong? I don't know.
I don't actually know that. Well, I did know that. I don't know it at the moment. I didn't know what a billabong was, though.
Okay, so, they decided to catch the Yeti in a net.
Who's a net? What's a net doing there?
Catch a Yeti, obviously.
Yeah.
So they do that, basically. They basically just do that. It dies.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a really terrible scene of the monks fighting the Yeti.
Yes. I don't think that's going to be much better.
No, probably not.
Actually, I think that'll be, it'll be a bit more blarty. Who's doing the music?
Ooh.
Who did the music for Kinder?
Don't know.
Roger Lim, was it?
Probably was Roger Lim.
Yeah, so it'd be a bit
Roger Lim.
It's always going to remind me of Look and Read then. Because I heard Roger Lim's music on Look and Read before I heard it on Doctor Who, because it happened at first. And so every Doctor Who story with his music on, from when they were broadcast to now, still, I keep thinking Wordy's going to come flying in, going, hello, Word Watchers. He never does.
No.
I just remember getting the Doctor Who soundtrack album, and the Roger Lim tracks were the ones I never really liked. I liked some of the other sort of Paddy Kingston and that. But I didn't like Roger Lim.
Well, I like his compositions. I don't like the synthesizers. I don't like the sound.
Yeah, he had a certain palette of sounds. Yeah,
and they're quite aggressive. Something that's sort of hard on the ear.
Yeah.
Although he did Caves, and that's
the Caves, which is great. Yeah. Like I say, I like his compositions. Maybe he got a better synth.
All we are saying is give Roger Lim a chance.
Indeed.
Yeah. Not enough clanging.
Not enough clanging, but there's only one clanger.
Yeah.
There's only one Malcolm Clark. One Malcolm Clark. There's only one Malcolm Clark. Thank goodness.
Oh dear. Yeah. So they bring.
I'm so glad I did the editing in the 90s. nowadays have an excuse.
So they bring this dead Yeti in. And the Doctor fairly quickly realizes that it's a robot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's made out of metal for a start. That's his first clue.
Yeah.
Solid metal.
Yeah, and it's got a big hole in its chest.
It's got an orifice.
It's got an orifice in its chest,
Yeah.
which there's obviously something missing.
Did we decide on Michael Palin?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess we kind of did.
Is he going to be going? That's not dead. It's just resting.
Norwegian blue, lovely plumage.
You know what? I think he'll probably actually be playing it fantastically well, as he can do.
He would,
I mean, we've all seen GBH.
Yeah, he's great in that. Yeah.
And he was doing straight films by this point as well. So
yeah,
I don't see any reason to think. It's nice to think he'd be playing it like Python. But if it was a McCoy story, but it ain't. It's early JNT. People are saying no.
It's just a flight of fancy, listener.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So meanwhile, the ball that Adric's ball, he's taking it out of his satchel.
Not
that ball. It's got it on the plinth there next to the Buddha, and it's moving by itself.
Yeah. Why has he done that? Why didn't he keep carrying it in a satchel?
Was it on the plinth? I mean, that episode exists. I've got no idea at that point. I don't know. Presumably the Doctor's got Adric's ball out at some point and said, I don't know what this is. Why are you looking at me like that?
It's the I don't know what this is. It gets me.
Oh dear.
And that's the end of the episode, isn't it? That's the end of episode 2.
Well, in the original version, yeah.
In the original, yes, yes.
Yeah.
We'll obviously compress the action somewhat.
We should try and compress things a little bit, I think. So,
Yeah.
So there's quite a lot of stuff in to next episode in the German version with Chris on won't let anyone leave.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we could probably reduce that quite a lot. We meet Valpachan, who's on guard there. Yeah.
So I've just realised how to reduce it. Literally have Davison going up with George Takei going, can we go? No. Okay.
Well, Travers managed to slip out anyway, out of the monastery.
Well, he was spooked by Adric's ball.
I was spooked by Adric's ball.
We were all spooked by Adric's ball.
It does spend the next 20 minutes just roaming around the monastery.
Maybe we should let him die in this one, because then we'll have the credits rolling over a shattered ball at the end. It'll be really moving. Imagine Adric's shattered ball.
I mean, the Doctor spends all this time going, we must find a control sphere. And it's like, it's just there. It's going beep, 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 beep. We should be going past his head, just sort of bimbling around.
Yeah, stick a bit of Benny Hill on it and job.
Yeah.
All chasing it around, All the monk skirts fall off.
Yeah, small monks as well. There's Winchin and Sapin. They're kind of sort of more senior monks.
Yep.
They put a spirit trap around the Yeti.
They do.
Corpse, which you can tell that's not going to stop it for long.
It's not going to work. No, it's not going to work.
I have to say, there's arguably too many monks.
There's
we were saying before, there's a lot of them.
Yeah. I was about to say, you could cut that scene.
Yeah. To be fair,
it's pretty.
A lot of this.
It's a nice bit of shading for the story, but but you don't need it.
You don't need it. No.
Too many monks spoil the broth.
Too many monks.
In the original version, there's lots of stuff with Victoria being suspicious about the abbot and that, and we can
get rid of all that.
Adric's not really going to be that interested.
No, he's not. He's lost his ball after all.
He's lost his ball. He's like,
poor lad.
Where's my ball?
Because that's how Adric talks.
He does if he's lost his ball.
What's that you say, boy? You've lost your ball?
Where's my ball, mister?
Can I do my song yet?
Has Adric come the Artful Dodger? Well, he actually was intended to originally be.
There we go. The Doctor's ball, he finally fits his character type. Excellent.
That didn't work.
No.
The Artful Dodger, I think.
No, well, they needed someone with some, bless him, acting ability. No offense to Matthew Waterhouse, but
no, not at all.
So as I say, Chris on won't let everyone leave, but he's prepared to go out and have a look for a ball himself.
Yeah.
There's another ball out in the mud.
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and this is where he gets fucked over by Yeti. Basically.
Yeah, he does.
So they have to drag him back inside. But while this is going on, we kind of realise that Papa Sambafar is controlling the Yetis. He's got some little Yeti models that he's moving about on his little chessboard. So it's all a bit sinister. Chris Long's a bit more malleable after that. He's a bit more persuadable.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah. He lets the Doctor go and get some equipment from the TARDIS, which is nice of him.
Mhm.
And meanwhile, Songsen is also heading out heads up the mountain with some Yetis.
Yeah.
And he actually goes to the cave. He's got a little pyramid thing that he's going to put in there. And Travers witnesses him going in. And we must surely, by the end of episode, we're coming to the end of episode 3 of the Tram version.
So
so
how about the cliffhanger for Davison one is the Doctor and Tegan, is it? Approaching the TARDIS, and there's a Yeti there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Get that crash zoom that we still have.
Yeah.
Cool, that'll do.
So Songsten is going into the cave. Travers spots him going into the cave.
Yep.
And
we've got a bit of that too, haven't we?
We've got a little tiny trace. You can see
2 seconds of him walking with Yeti.
You can see his foot.
Yes.
It just looks like some Yeti walking along, and you think, no, there's somebody else there. You see someone's foot. And
Yeah.
that's about it.
Oh yeah, because they're all kind of shrouding him, aren't they?
Yeah. So he does that and comes back again, and then Travers goes in the cave, and it doesn't go terribly well for him. He finds the pyramid, loads of foam coming out of it. Yeah.
Is this the first use of the foam machine that the Troutonier?
Might be.
No, the macro. They foamed.
They foam.
Foam came out of their mouths. No, you can see it, Tony Snap.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If you're interested in foamy macro, but who isn't,
interested in foamy macro?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Hey.
Foamy macro.
We would advise our listeners not to Google foamy macro.
So Travers, he runs away from the grave, crying like a little girl. Meanwhile, to Doctor and Tegan,
yep.
Realise that the Yeti's not moving by the time.
Is Adric just kind of hanging around the monastery at the moment?
I think he must be. Yeah.
So helping for the ball search.
Yeah, helping him for his ball. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you would.
Yeah.
The ball's fallen out of your satchel. You want to do something about it.
So a little hole in there or something. Yeah.
I was about to say like Victoria's Sabermat hole, and I thought, no, I'll not say that.
No.
But the convenient hole suddenly develops in her bag, and the close-up where the little Sabermat comes in.
Yeah. I guess this will be the point where Adric kind of heads towards the sanctum and hears Papa Sambavar.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's actually quite Adric-y. This kind of works for him as well.
Yeah, he would be kind of sneaking around.
When he's got his best stuff, I mean, he is given good stuff that fits the character sometimes.
Mm.
A lot more in season 18, I suppose.
Yeah.
But, and this is sneaking around and working things out to do nicely. You big lumping around.
Yeah, you big lumping, yeah. Anyway, I've kind of jumped past the Doctor and Tegan on the mountain. So, they work out that the Yeti's not activated.
Yeah.
No.
Cricket ball. He's not going to bung a rock at it. It'll be a cricket ball.
Yeah, cricket ball. Yeah.
And he'll make some gag of it. Googlies? I don't know. Or is that what Adric's doing?
They lift its flap and they take its ball out.
They do. Is that what happened to Adric?
Has Adric got a flap? Is that what we must?
Of course, he's got a flap. He's an Alzarian. Well, yes, he has them because the Marshmen have got these little kind of sort of gill flap things.
Oh, they do, yeah.
So I bet Adric's got vestigial gill flaps.
Really disturbing, aren't they? Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're there for. They should have look more like gills.
Yeah.
If they were going to be gills, and maybe put them in the neck.
Less like tit flaps, which I just assume that's what they were, but yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, so Adric's going to have tit flaps.
Tit flaps and ambulatory balls. I don't know. Poor lad's not got a chance.
Maybe that's why they heal so fast.
That's an alternative title for the episode. Tit flaps and ambulatory balls.
Oh, why are they never around when you want them?
So the Doctor's he's got his equipment from the TARDIS and he's now able to control Yetis. So in the meantime, Adric's ball finds the Yeti in the courtyard. Yeah, pops in. And he's good to go.
Because it's looking for a flap.
It's looking for a flap.
Naturally, just looking for a flap.
It's just
when it finds the Yeti, goes, look at the size of the flap on that.
Any flap will do.
I'm in there.
The monks try to fight the Yeti, but it's not having it.
No.
And it beats its way out of the monastery. We're at that point in the story where what did I say?
That pint in the story.
We're at that point in the story. Don't know. We're at that point in the story where
are you secretly thinking about having a pint? But
fucking not to a pint right now. Yeah. I'm not going to. I've got me water. I'm good. Okay, so we're at that point in the story where Papa Sandoval has decided he wants the monks to fuck off. So that's basically his plan at this point, is to get him to leave. So
he's the head of it all. I mean, he should just walk out there and go, "Oi, fuck off, monks." They'll have to.
That sketch with the inspirational teacher where the bell goes, "All right, fuck off." So yeah, Songston's out there. He's doing the business. He's telling the monks to go now. When the doctor gets back, and Chris Ong wants to stay and fight for a bit of fighting, and Travis is back as well. So
I can imagine Davison going, "No, the last thing you must do is fuck off at this moment."
So Travis comes back. He's a bit fucked up. So he goes down to lie down.
Oh yeah, he saw the foam. It's not going to be foam. It's going to be like green gloop or something.
What did they do in the 80s? Some kind of
comes
video
out of the
effects.
malice. They do green gloop.
Yeah.
Be kind of a one of those mirror balls come down.
Having said that, Resurrection of the Daleks does exist, in which the Daleks spurt foam all over the place. So maybe it would be.
That's true. Yeah. So Songston opens the gate and lets the Yetis in.
Oh, and they push the statue over, don't they?
Yeah.
And squash Rinchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Rinchen.
Or is it? It is Rinchen, right?
Yeah. No,
right. Well, that's one less.
Yeah. No. Rinchen dies at this point. Yeah.
He should have fucked off, like that the boss said.
Well, yeah, I think this kind of is what turns Chris Ong around. He says, "Oh, maybe we should go." In the meantime, Adric has decided to let Kiosk get the better of him, and he sneaks in to see Papa Zampar. He's sitting in his room and he's a bit wizened.
This totally fits Adric as well. This is like him going to see Monarch.
Yeah.
He can get talked around here, he doesn't have to hypnotise him. He'll just kind of go, no, my way is better. Adric will go, "You're right."
Yeah, he wouldn't need to hypnotise Adric. Adric would just join him.
He's just very, very gullible.
If you go, you're controlling the Yetis. I must join your side.
Yeah, but I'm doing it for good reasons. Oh, well, in that case, the doctor's wrong.
It's a bit of a shame. You can tell from the telesnaps that Wolf Morris's makeup is just terrible. I mean,
you can, yeah.
Poor.
It's unfortunately it's clearly not sticking around his mouth.
Yeah.
And as you say, you can even tell it in the telesnaps. So
yeah, it must have been dreadful. Yeah,
unfortunately, which is a shame because he's giving such a good performance.
Yeah.
That may have, maybe one of those times where it works. It may not. He may have got through it. May have got past it. Or it may be that the telesnaps have taken it exactly the moment where it came unglued.
Yeah.
And it was fine the rest of the time, but it does look a bit.
Yeah.
It's not going to have been an appliance like we have now. It's going to have been a thin latex mask. They call it hard latex. As in just ordinary latex.
It would look a bit like Monarch, wouldn't it? It'd be kind of one of those kind of.
Well, no, that's makeup. That's appliances, really. That stuff built up, so it moves to the face. Well, this would be, good attempt, brave attempt. Probably not much better at the time in television. But also possibly cast someone old.
That would work, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Hello, having said that, Wolf Morris has clearly put a hand wave line into the script. I have remained young all these years. Job.
Yeah.
Because the intelligence likes to be supple.
The great intelligence, which is this formless intelligence that lives in space, has been keeping him alive for the last 300 years and making him build the Yetis. In fact, he's actually built the Yetis. We discover later on.
And I do think all the stuff where you have Papa Sambavar talking to the intelligence, you don't even hear the intelligence responses. It's all one-sided, and just he does all that kind of like, "Oh, can I rest soon? Is there yet more to do?" Really, really well. It really sells to me that this guy's been here a puppet for 300 years.
Yeah,
it's a really atmospheric story. I mean, it's surprising when you think that there's actually no incidental music
at all.
It's all just wind sounds and chanting, and it doesn't need it. It works just as it is. It's great.
I wish they'd done that more often. Sparse music can be very effective sometimes.
You can kind of imagine him at the beginning of the 300 years, where the great intelligence is saying to him, "I want you to build these things. What you'll need is a large amount of steel. We're at the top of a mountain.
A fucking monk, mate.
You'll need some. You'll need some wire. A mountain.
You'll need a good supply of silicon, some circuit boards, and
what you should have done is turn around and go, "No, mate, this is an obvious pyramid scheme." And hang on.
I'm here a week, folks.
I'm here forever.
300 years.
300 years. Better start building me bog.
So Yeti's coming. He's bringing the Yetis. Papa Sambathar.
I thought they came in already. They came in and took the statue over, didn't they?
You're right. I've got mixed up again. Hang on, let me look at me plot.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So after
Because
Rinchen
that's
dies,
the important character. Rinchen was killed. Yeah.
yeah, Rinchen's killed, and then the Yetis fuck off again. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they have a problem with Rinchen?
They
Did
just didn't like him much.
Rinchen look at Papa Sambathar slightly off once? You know, he just thought, "I'm gonna have you one day. I'm fucking having you."
I tell you what, I didn't like Rinchen much either. I'm 100% Team Sapan. Sapan all the way.
Yeah. Is Sapan the kind of taller one with the mustache, the younger one?
Sapan's the one where you can really see his eyes have been taped. He's just painful.
Yeah. I think is he the one that everyone thought was played by, oh God, the playwright?
Oh, Harold Pinter.
Harold Pinter, yeah.
Yeah, it might be.
For years, it was
Yeah,
Harold Pinter was in the Abominable Snowmen. He just wasn't at all.
No, some of the bloke with tape on his face.
Yeah.
Is that one of those kind of urban myths like Kate Bush originally writing the music for
I think so.
Kinder?
I think so, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to write a song now called Some Other Bloke with Tape on His Face. I was some other bloke with tape on his face, pretending to be a monk.
So yeah, the monks have had enough now. They decide to go.
We should have fucked off, you know, when he said.
Yeah, that's right. Adric comes out with the ghanta. He's ready to persuade him to go as well.
Oh yeah,
He's fully on Papa Sambafar's side.
He's going to stumble on the way out and drop the ghanta, isn't he? Have to pick it up again. Oh, Adric.
There's a scene where Papa Sambafar's meant to be talking through him. It's not going to work.
No, it's not, is it? No.
That could be good. And yeah, the Doctor's a bit confused because he met Papa Sambathar 300 years ago. What?
Yeah, what's Tegan doing at this point? She's just hanging with the Doctor.
I guess so. She might be talking to Travers. Travers is kind of in a bit of a state. And, she might be helping him out.
She'll be soothing Travers.
Soothing Travers. He's lost his memory, which is a bit unfortunate.
Yeah.
Assuming he's still lost his memory in this version. If we compress things, maybe he hasn't lost his memory. Maybe he's going get to the cave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in the cave. It's coming.
Yeah. Get running up that hill. Come on.
It's even up here. There we go. Yeah. Fantastic. Of course, apparently Kate Bush came up with the original idea for the Abominable Snowmen.
Yeah.
She was very young.
Yeah.
So I guess we're coming to the end of episode 3 at this point. Maybe the Doctor goes to see Papa Sambathar and we get that kind of confrontation. And then
and Papa Sambathar apparently dies.
Yeah.
But then he doesn't. Once the Doctor's left, I assume.
Yes. Well, they have that mental battle, don't they?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the cliffhanger then. They have their mental battle.
No, they have that later. That's the denouement.
Okay, you're right. Yeah.
I think at this point, well, I just watched it this morning. At this point, the Doctor comes in and Papa Sambathar is kind of dying, and it's kind of oh dear, and all that sort of bit. And he apparently expires. Doesn't know why. But then as soon as the Doctor leaves, it jerks up right again, and that would be the cliffhanger ending. That would be episode 3.
Okay, yeah, great.
And because it's TNT, his eyes would glow.
They might. Well, because it's 1981 too, they might not. I suppose they probably would, but they'll be CSO.
Yeah.
I mean, 1981, he's likely to have sort of pus coming out his face, and he rips his face off. It's the Master.
Yeah. What's ever come out of the Master's face?
Time flight.
Yeah.
Oh, it's more snot, isn't it? It kind of comes out of his nose and his mouth. Yeah. For some reason.
Yeah.
That happens.
I love that outtake as well, of the footage where somebody comes in with a really filthy looking rag and kind of wipes it off his face.
Yeah. And then his false teeth thing falls out, his appliance falls out. It's all just glamour.
So in the original version, this is the point where the Doctor goes back. He's a bit worried, and he deprograms Victoria.
Doesn't need to with
doesn't
Adric,
need to. Adric's just
He just gives him a slap.
No, Adric.
Right out.
Gives him a jolly good smack.
I will stop joining the villain.
I swear, I'll take your other ball away. Yes, your third one. I know where your flaps are.
So they're triangulating this point. They're trying to triangulate to find where the guy controlling the Yetis is. In fact, I think the Doctor and Travers actually go up the mountain for a little way till they get a good triangulate. And then they realise it's back in the monastery.
Well, they don't go up the mountain this time, do they? They do this in the monastery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Travers remembers the cave, and we see there's loads and loads of foam coming out of it. So that's a bit unfortunate as well.
Well, presumably, yeah. I mean, presumably the doctors also, noticed the vast chessboard full of Yeti models in Papa Sambavar's.
He would pick this up a bit quicker. Yeah.
And so if the Yeti start moving again, he might go, wait a minute, was he not dead, maybe?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's left Chris on. Chris on goes to meet Papa Sambavar.
Yeah, he does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
No, Chris on.
Oh, Chris on. So Abbott Songston jumps up from behind and sort of chops him down.
Yeah.
Yeah, with his lethal killer Vulcan nerve pinch job.
Yeah.
So the others turn
Chris
up.
on, it's Chris off.
Yes.
Yes, the others turn up. Songston attacks them.
Mhm.
They have to subdue him, and he kind of comes around a little bit, and he tells the doctor, it's Papa Sambavar.
Yeah.
He built the Yetis, and the controls are actually behind his throne.
Mhm.
So they
I'd
come up with
love
a
to see a
plan.
picture of that set. Sorry.
Yeah, there's a telesnap, isn't there? But it's not very clear.
But it's got glass being broken dramatically. It's a lovely shot, but it really obscures the set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they come up with a plan where the monks are going to leave,
Mhm.
but the doctor, Tegan, and Adric are going to stay with Thomney. And they're going to hit into the sanctum and confront the Great Intelligence. And they realize the Great Intelligence is now fully controlling Papa Sambavar's corpse. So this is when they have the Battle of Wills, of course.
Yes, that's the Battle of Wills.
Yeah.
That's the Battle of Wills.
Which is going to be like the Battle of Wills and the King's Demons.
Hmm.
Between the doctor, for Chameleon, the power that control the Chameleon, with how
Yeah.
faces going, cutting fast.
It goes on quite a while, isn't it? It's quite the substantial climax with it.
It is. It is a substantial climax. Oh, Zulu's substantial climax. Dead.
Adric's ball not required.
Adric's balls are, the long since found other flaps to go to, other better flaps.
The Doctor and the Great Intelligence are having this Battle of Wills, and Tegan and presumably Adric's being talked around. They're coming around the back, and smashing up the controls. But Tommy's there as well. Tommy's having a go.
Tommy, David Gibbs having a smash as well.
He's having a smash. They're all having a smash. Travers comes in. The Yeti's come in.
Yeah,
everybody's there.
They're all just it's proper. Who's directing this? Hey, we never talked about director. Who directed Kinder? Peter Grimwade. Oh, this will look great.
This is going to look good.
This is going to be good. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Up until the sort of eventually, I'm assuming probably Tegan breaks the pyramid. The mountain literally explodes. Papa Sambavar just collapses and dies.
Doesn't explode.
Yeah.
It's a shame. It would be great if he did. That Mr. Creosote. Davison going, ha!
And that's kind of it, really. We're kind of there. Yeah. The monks come back. The doctor decides to leave while no one's asking what's going on. And Travers leads them back up the mountain where he sees a Yeti, a real Yeti.
A real Yeti,
loping away in the distance. So he's happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's kind of it, really. Yeah.
Hey, good. Good. Right, well, let's unspleen then.
Ensplinment. So, is it better or worse than the original?
So it's obviously really hard to judge because we've only got one episode of the original, and though the recon I think is a typically brilliant piece of work from loose cannon, there's only so much you can do.
I think The Abominable Snowmen is a great story. I think probably I would say it's the best script from Lincoln and Haseman.
It's pretty well. It's pretty well paced actually, isn't it?
It's well paced. It's well put together.
And episode 2 is very atmospheric.
Yeah.
And a lovely contrast with they turn the lights down in the monastery. All the Papa Sambavar stuff scary, contrasted beautifully with the location of filming. I think it could be tremendous. So probably it's better. But season 19 is a good solid season. Production value is generally good. It certainly wouldn't have been bad.
I think, as we've said once before, I think the monochrome covers a multitude of sins, and I think you'd more so in the 80s look at it being filmed in Snowdonia and go, that doesn't look anything like Tibet.
And the snow. We haven't talked about what the Yeti would look like either.
They might look quite a lot different, actually.
They probably have faces and gnars and great pointy teeth.
Might look a bit more like traditional Yeti, rather than
They might.
Yeah,
furry teddy bears. Yeah.
like Harry and the Henderson.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who designed the costumes for Kinder. I can't remember. I don't think it was June Hudson. I like a lot of her costume stuff, but don't let her near monsters.
Yeah. Yes. That way lies Nymons.
And Famazi.
Mm.
Let's run the numbers. The Doctor is 11.
Ooh. Although I'm saying ooh, we've had him twice before.
193.
Okay, so yes, it is the Doctor's daughter.
Right.
Not going to be that much different.
Again, we've done this 11-10 swap over thing where it's
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not sure how much we can say about it, but okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Does that mean Matt Smith has to end up marrying Georgia Moffat?
I guess it does, yeah. Okay, so that was the Abominable Snowmen. Join us next time for the Doctor's Daughter with Matt Smith. I need to thank Ben Jones for providing our music. Also, you can find us on Twitter using the hashtag TimeRam. I'm on there as @BazTimeRam. Rupert is @Rupert Booth, and Paul is @PaulFerriate. We can also be found on Facebook and on Patreon if you feel like contributing to the production costs of this podcast. Also, another way to support the podcast is to leave us a review, maybe on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts from. So we'll see you again next time. It's got a big poster that says the 8 planets of the solar system. I just want to tear it up.
Yeah.
Creep in at night and stick an extra planet on the end.
It makes a nonsense of the 10th planet as well. It should be called the 9th planet then, shouldn't it? It's not. It's called the 10th planet.
Well, it doesn't even make any sense on his fucking poster because he's got the 8 planets, but then he's also got Pluto down the bottom, and he's got Ceres, and he's got these other ones as well.
Ceres.
It's just full of it.
Not of it. Ceres. It's a bloody asteroid.